Hello folks, it's Monday the 14th of May and it's time to check in with you. Hope all is well in this crazy world. I've had quite the last week. Since I saw you folks, I had a really good gig with a new act that I'm a part of. It just has happened. This is Morgan Heritage is the name of this band, and I opened up for them in the band 3 Egypt. It's spelled like with a 3. Here it is, yeah. Morgan Heritage with Egypt. You say Egypt, well, it says 3 Egypt. But that's a new act that I'm a part of, and it's wonderful how it happened, because Egypt is a young lady named Egypt Makitsia, who a couple of years back was involved in the first Chemicals show, and then she hooked up with me for mentorship regarding music, and she asked for some guidance and some tips on singing and stuff, and my goodness, she actually took all of them, plus a tune that I wrote for her to use, and rolled it into moving to Jamaica and starting a career. And she's bouncing back and forth between Jamaica and America right now. We're about to make an album. I'll be on an album with her. And it's really good. A lot of the audience thought we were better than Morgan Heritage. And I'm amazed at how well Egypt has just flowered in a short amount of time, you know. But the other thing that happened was, on the way home from the after party of the show, my car caught fire. I don't know what happened. Something popped under the engine. I know my engine was dirty. I don't know much about cars, but I smelled rubber as I'm driving, and the next thing you know, the front hood starts flaming. I had to pull over and call the fire department. By the time they got there, the whole front end of the car was on fire. So I don't have a car at this time. Interestingly enough, for a minute I thought I was going to lose my favorite bass, because I always keep my bass in the trunk for the most part, like a lot of musicians, or at least just the way musicians used to be. I don't know. I think a lot of us still are. When you can hide your stuff or keep it in the trunk where presumably nobody knows, you want to be ready. But I just, I thought for a minute I was going to lose my favorite bass and amp. This was in the and thankfully I was able to save it. I have a couple other basses, but this was the one. This is nothing expensive. It's just the one I like to play the most. Yeah, I just like this one a lot. So I'll be challenged to everything is a challenge, everything is a challenge, financially, for the average person, which I am, everything is a challenge. So how to get a car, how to keep on the road, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I don't have a job. I'll talk a little bit about music. Anthony Ferraro, thank you so much. He just out of the blue sent me a package of music. The kind of stuff I like. Anthony, very kind of you. Anthony sent me this bootleg CD of UK. Talk about the weather. Sorry about the weather. It looks like a Japanese boot. The recording quality is so. You know how it is with these recordings. But what is extra cool about this is I get to hear UK do versions of songs that ended up on Bill Bruford's records, like Sahara of Snow and Carrying No Cross. It's cool to hear this because this is a version with Alan Holdsworth. They didn't release it till the second album, and Alan was already, was he gone? I think he was. I'd have to actually look. I haven't played the record in so long. He also sent me this, put out by the King Crimson label, a Frippin' Eno live in Paris. This is very nice. Comes in a box. Very nice of you, Anthony. Very nice. You know, they three disc set. I've only sampled the first part. I have the Frippin' Eno records, No Pussyfooting and Evening Star. And this was a wonderful experiment. It's not the sort of thing you put on for attentive listening very often, but it's something to know. I think that's the best way to put it. You know, this is something to know about. This is a piece of music history that you ought to hear. He sent me 2 other discs. He knows I like King Crimson, so he sent me this Project One live disc. Project One is one of the King Crimson side projects where they would go out and do stuff, you know, in configurations. This is all improvised. I have listened to all this. This is kind of ponderous, slow. Thankfully, they know how to improvise, and Robert Fripp, you know, I do respect him quite a bit, because he has a good sense of when to just let things happen and then when to interject and point a direction regarding the improvisation. So in that sense, the way that these pieces develop, the first one's a half an hour. It's really fascinating, okay, to hear the interaction. I like improvisation a lot. The last thing he sent me was an Adam Holtzman anthology CD. Adam Holtzman is a keyboardist. I became aware of him through his work with Miles Davis. He's played with a lot of folks. This looks like a self-released deal or a really small label. You know, it looks, I've only played a little bit of this, you know, kind of funky jazz. But the primary thing I want to say, Anthony, is it's just so nice. You just send me this music. I see your posts online on Facebook, and I see what you like, and I catch your vibe. You come off like an enthusiastic person with a lot of energy. And I just appreciate it, you know. The package actually came at a good time. You know, I've been grieving the loss. I had that car for 22 years. I'm really not, even with all these records, someone will call me a hypocrite. That's just because you don't, that's what you think. I'm not a material-minded person, so I'm not into cars and stuff. I have these records. This is my interest, but I'm not material. So whenever I have a car, I drive it. I just drive it. I'm not into it, you know. So we'll see what happens to get me back on the road, because right now I'm stuck at home, and I have shows this week. I have stuff to do. Here's a temporary plan. It'll come together. There's records that I've been playing, but that's my update for today, and I'll be back again this week. You know, I will. The other thing I'm doing is I'm watching the news. I always watch the news, and it's completely out of our hands. You know, the active volcano situation in Hawaii. I have friends there. You know, people have chosen to live on an active volcano. It's active again. It's fascinating to watch. All right, I'll talk to you later.